left-wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
On Thursday, June 27th, we witnessed the first presidential debate of the 2024 election between former President Donald Trump and incumbent President Joe Biden. So let's talk about the 5 top moments from the 2024 presidential debate. Moment number 1, Biden was stuck like Mitch. Biden froze up when answering a question about the economy. He stumbled over his words multiple times, and at times he looked completely dazed and confused. Ace, does Biden's performance validate concerns about him being physically unfit to lead?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, it wasn't a good look for Joe Biden, man. God dang. You know what I'm saying? I felt bad for my man, dog. Like, didn't look good. Now, I don't believe he can't lead, but I just think it gives him doubts on how long is he going to be able to hold office. Is he going to be healthy enough? Is he going to be that type of stuff? I think mentally, I mean, if you listen to him, I mean, what he was saying, he was sharp on the policies. His delivery was just bad. Man needed a throat lounger, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody should have snuck him a Halls up there with the syrup in the middle,
with the
man.
mentholyptus.
Yeah, with the mentholyptus to clear all that up. I mean, he was struggling, and I think that hurt it. It was just hard to hear him talk and do stuff, man. When talk about his policies. But if you go back and you listen to it, when he was on point on policy, and we knew he was going to be there with that. So,
oh yeah.
But so because it's just heavy when you say capability of the lead, and it ain't like we asked this dude to go out and dig ditches for us. We asked him to be the president. There's some physical strain on it, but I think that we want him to. We're more focused on what his policies are going to be.
Let me put it to you like this. I agree with you on the policy aspect. Like, I agree with all of his policies, and I want him to be in office so that he can bring those things to fruition. But to your point about the capability to lead, when you lead, sometimes you have to interact with other people from other countries, and you don't got a teleprompter and a script like he did that the next night after that, where he seemed like he was on top of his game with the teleprompter and stuff in play. If you're talking to Putin, you don't want to be like staring off into the goddamn abyss. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, so that's where the concern runs. It just don't pass the eye test, man. It's just bad, man. The one thing that he shouldn't have did was come in and be struggling like that. So it's funny because all the memes and stuff were saying that, and a lot of people that are supporting him were like, that's just making it up as memes. But this just justified it. No, this dude's, he has senior moments and he has issues, and is he going to have a senior moment when we need him the most? And I think that's what the concern is with Joe Biden. But
yeah, when I think of physically fit, I think of more his mental capacity to lead. And yes, he was slower in his words, but at his age, he's going to be. But I want people to keep in mind that he doesn't make decisions on an island. He has a very vast amount of people. So just talking about his advisors. So he has his cabinet, right? So that's his vice president, state of defense, treasury, Department of Justice. He has all those people. He has the White House staff, plethora. We all know about assistance. So when you give money, that's what you're given to provide an assistance. He has executive officers of the president, the EOP. So it's not him by himself. Like, I would be a little bit concerned if he was just the only one making those decisions, but we all know that he is not. And I like the fact that I would say he's fit in a difference or contrast to Trump, because Trump has people who are just going to just agree with everything he says. Like, the man went up there and just lied. And you got people still, help. Again, his strategists should be telling him, like, you can't just go off lying to people. You got to have some statistics. You got to have some information backing up what you're saying. And he just has a bunch of yes men around him. So as far as fitness, Biden is going to have people who tell him, hey, we shouldn't do that, or yes, or finding him information and going by statistics, versus I think our other end, he just wants to roll with the punches. He just wants to do whatever he wants, and the end. I don't think that is a sign of fitness. So I think Biden will be fine.
Yeah. Well, I think somebody should have told him that day wasn't the day for him to go on that debate. Like, I know
Didn't have a choice. Yeah.
He didn't roll out 5 minutes out, and just they knew that. Like, when he was walking out there, somebody should have been like, yo, Like, let's pull back, man. Like, let's do this another day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he should be able to have a senior day, because the next day he was off and rolling. He was talking shit up loud. Where was that guy the day before? Like,
that's teleprompter game right there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
but
There's a difference.
there's a difference between like you being on the spot to answer questions. There's pressure.
Yeah.
There's all type, and I know he prepared. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. He prepared, and he's supposed to be a very, I guess, experienced debater.
yeah.
But having a teleprompter sure helps. I know that from
Yeah.
doing YouTube videos and all of that. Having a teleprompter helps you in your delivery. And I think that that's a big part of what you saw from a difference between the debate and that next day outing that he had.
Yeah.
I do want to make a few quick points on YouTube. We got Steve. Steve said, this is why I've been saying that he should have had to go through a primary. He would have had to debate other people before this, and we would have seen this coming, and maybe we would have picked somebody else based on that. Good point. Them just pushing him through was a horrible move. Don't get me wrong. I do totally agree with his policies, but he's too old. What do y'all think about that?
Again, we can go back and forth with the age, and he is older, but the other one is also older. You know what I mean? So if I think if we were looking at different candidates and we had somebody younger both ways, yes, I do think there should be an age cap. We've already talked about that and discussed it. But now we're here now. Yeah. So we can keep talking that in circles, but we have 80-year-olds who are running for the presidency.
Younger don't mean better, though, because Matt Gaetz is younger and I don't want it.
Touche. Experience does mean something as well. I definitely agree with that. Yeah. But I think over the age of 75, we need to start looking, we need to look at, is there a cap?
Yeah, no, he's struggling. He's struggling for real. But, and going back to kind of what you said with him having people around him, like, and he's trying to put policies in place. Like, yeah, age has something to do with it, but you got to understand that saying, well, he's too old, let me vote for the other guy because he looks more rigorous. Like, what policies does he have in place? Because end of the day, if the people are not pushing the policies going to support us, then why are you voting for him? Because it's cool to have a younger guy in there, but if everything he's doing is hurting you, you ain't gonna like that at all either.
Beats the whole purpose.
So
definitely agree.
And and don't forget, they didn't bring up anything about Project 2025. That's still
that's a big deal.
That's still a big deal. So
speaking of policies, there was a policy that I want to get to when we talk about moment number 2.
Yeah.
And moment number 2 was sending civil rights back to the states. So the policy that they were talking about with this discussion was abortion. So during that exchange, Trump brought up a whole about face on his whole stance about abortion. He talked about having exceptions for rape, incest, and life of a mother because, as he said, you got to get elected. Crazy that he said that. Then Biden compared Trump sending Roe versus Wade back to the states to sending civil rights back to the states, which was a good analogy. In my mind. Wanda, if Trump is selected, what are some laws or freedoms that might be placed in jeopardy?
So we definitely want to go back to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That's foremost, I think, what really scared people when he said that. But that's a fact. And we all know living in the South, being a minority, that could be scary for us. So definitely something to think about. Another one I don't think most people thought was the America's Disability Act. So if you're ADA, guess what? That's federal. That's not state. So just imagine if we brought those back to states, that's discrimination against people with disabilities. So keep that in mind. The Fair Housing Act is another one. Equal employment. So if you like to be employed and not based upon your race or religion or sexual orientation, that's federal. That's not state. FMLA. A lot of people use FMLA, right? When you have a baby, whether you're a female or a male, though that FMLA is as far as a supportive system that's under the federal government. It's not through the state. Privacy rights. That was a big one to me because Roe v. Wade actually falls under the Privacy Rights Act. And we all know that has been overturned. But also we have Griswold versus Connecticut that supports that. So your privacy. So if you want to still have some privacy, that's something you want to look at. That's definitely federal. Consumer Protection Acts, immigration laws, which again, I was thinking about that. Like if we did bring that back to the states, what that would look like. That's federal. And Environmental Protection Act. So there's quite a few things that fall under the federal umbrella versus the states. And I'd be really intrigued about what would happen if the states.
That's a lot of important
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, check it out.
Right.
And I don't know, it's funny, and we didn't get into the weeds with this, but the Supreme Court just passed they just announced an act that makes all of those agencies have the power to govern that. They just did that like Thursday.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
under the radar.
Okay.
And I was looking at it and they said a lot of people don't understand how big and important that is that they did that. Like that's as big as Roe versus Wade, because a lot of these agencies, the APA and stuff like that, the law that allows them to do that, they just recanted that law.
Wow.
Oh, so they're bringing it back to the states. So now they're saying the states
They're
do
already
have.
setting it up to do
Oh,
that.
well,
You know
we're
what I'm
in
saying?
trouble, y'all.
Yeah, and that's the Supreme Court that did that. And I know that's a whole different show when we do that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people don't understand. And the one thing I hate about the debate is that they look at the semantics. That's America for you. We look at Trump's an actor. He knows how to get up there and perform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's going to always win in that thing. But at the end of the day, has nothing to do with your daily life. And the things that Walanda's talking about are things that are going to affect the daily life that you're not even thinking about. That they're taking away those rights from you right now as we speak. Like, that's what they want to do. They want to deregulate. And that's basically what they want to do. They want to move. They want to deregulate. And deregulation, and the way they try to sell it to you is, well, we deregulate, we'll lower prices for you. You won't have all this inflation. Which is a lie.
We're going to talk about that too.
Which is a lie. But the thing is, the deregulation, the regulations that they're talking about are the ones that make them have to do things that they would normally do. And they're talking about giving that back to the states. Why is that scary? And I said this a couple of shows ago when they were talking about abortion. What's next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they send Civil Rights Act back to the states? You know what I'm saying?
And that'll be.
You know what I'm saying? They already went against affirmative action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're already doing that.
Yeah, DEI.
So you honestly think if they roll back civil rights and they gave it to DeSantis in a heavily populated black state, Florida, where they already getting gerrymandered the hell out of it. That's why they can't get good people in there. You think how you think they're gonna treat civil rights? Yeah, it's bigger than that. And a lot of people that ain't listening, ignoring things, ain't understanding. Yeah, that's what you're voting for right now. So yeah, Biden look old as hell. I get it.
Yeah.
But listen to what they're saying. Listen, like you said, that's something that probably slid under the radar because nobody was really talking about that. They're talking about how old Biden's looking, but they're not talking about what was actually said.
Right.
So a lot of crazy things that he said Ukraine was going to lose the war. I don't know if people heard that.
Yep.
He said that. So it's a lot of crazy things that were in there that was said. So pay attention.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
one thing I want y'all to pay attention to is that like button. Okay. Make sure that you're clicking on that like button if you're enjoying this conversation. And please, please, please subscribe to Left Wing Kings and share this content on all of your social media platforms. All right. So, moment number 3. Trump was Captain Save-A-Ho on January 6th. Okay. Trump stated that on January 6th, he told people to peacefully go to the Capitol. And once the situation got out of control, he offered 10,000 troops to the mayor of D.C. and Nancy Pelosi, but they turned down the offer. Wanda, what will it take for Trump to apologize for his actions on that day, denounce the insurrectionists, and stop with the lies?
He's not. He's a compulsive liar. We saw that. We witnessed it last night, or what is this, last night? Or 2 nights ago. And in his rally speech, I'm going to quote exactly what he said. So he told the crowd, march to the Capitol peacefully and patriotically. Make your voices heard. Then he also told them, fight like hell and stop the steal. Okay. I mean, these are his words. You can go back and see exactly what he said. And we all watched it on TV. That's what's just so mind-blowing to me. It's like, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to Trump. You can actually go back and Google January 6th, God bless you, what you saw on TV. So he's never going to apologize because people see his words. They saw his actions for themselves with their own eyeballs and still are arguing this fact. Like, he's still saying the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Man, let's get into January 6th. And this is the thing that kills me about the January 6th thing. And it's just crazy that we're even talking about this. We've got evidence that they were planning this thing months in advance. Hell, the Proud Boys are in prison for treason because they have the secret meetings that they were having to plan and do what they're doing on January the 6th. They're sitting in jail right now for treason, you know, not just because they breaking and entering, because they had orchestrated plans to come down and take over and overthrow the government. That's what treason is. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this thing was planned. It's not an accident that it landed on January 6th, the day that they were confirming the presidential election. That was all planned to do that. We hear the words that he said. What we didn't hear all the way, but I saw a little bit of it, are all the speeches that led up to Trump's speech, to where you had Giuliani, Alex Jones, and all these other far right wingers up there speaking all this crazy rhetoric to get the crowd amped up. We know they came armed and had guns. We know that on their websites, they all planned to come down here and they had plans to take over the government. We all know this was taking place. You know what I'm saying? So for this guy us allowing him to denounce that is just the reason we're in the mess we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're allowing him to do this.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's one thing to lie to me. Don't lie to me about something that I see with my own eyes. That's a whole different kind of lie. You know, now you insulting my intelligence. You're telling me I'm dumb because I saw that. You know what I'm saying? Not only did I see that, we have all the evidence that tells us that you were planning this up to the point. We got and there's people sitting in prison right now because of that. With all that being said, you have people in this country that ignore all of that. Well, it's easy to tell me what side of the fence you fall on. You're either with that, that's why you're ignoring it, or you're not with that. Plain and simple. And if you're backing a guy like that's doing all that, then that tells me the story right then and there. You know what I'm saying? We seen everything,
right?
And we know all the evidence is there.
Yeah, and I want to say definitely during the inaction during the attack, like started tweeting. He was tweeting, "Go get Pence. Tell him to stop, to not recertify the results." I mean, these are things in his actions that he was doing. Why these things are happening? He sat back in his little chair in the Oval Office and watched it with his own eyes. And people on his side are begging and pleading for him to intervene. So once again, I mean, we can't ignore what we actually saw with our own eyes.
Let me add one more thing. Let me put the Nancy Pelosi thing to bed. Okay.
Right.
He sends Nancy Pelosi 10,000 troops, right? Nancy Pelosi says no. I'm sorry. Nancy Pelosi ain't the commander-in-chief, bro.
You are.
So why didn't you override her, bro, if that was the case? It's really that simple. Nancy Pelosi didn't have the power to say no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if you the commander-in-chief, you run the whole military.
He runs the military.
Even if she said no, which she didn't, because she's getting attacked. Of course, she ain't going to turn down 10,000 soldiers. They in her office kicking over her shit, kicking their feet up and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Scaring her staffers. She said no, but that's another story. But then why don't you just say,
we're doing it.
Fuck you, and I'm sending 10,000 troops over there. I'm the commander-in-chief.
Because he's a liar.
There you
and that's the bottom
We've
line.
already.
Yeah, and on YouTube, Steve said Trump just lied through the whole debate. Biden should have called him out on every lie. Trump got free reign to stand on the stage and spout bullshit. He has to be forced to even go into media and ask the folks that were there rioting to stop. It was all his fault. Yeah. At the end of the day, man.
Yep.
Like you said, this man is full of lies, and making up this stuff is crazy. But even regardless of the fact that he lies all the time, he's also kind of ignorant to black folks. And that brings me to moment number 4. Inflation is killing black families. Trump stated that inflation caused by Joe Biden is destroying the black family. He went on to state that immigrants are taking black jobs, whatever black jobs are. So
I need one of them black jobs.
Yeah. How is inflation killing your family? And what the hell is a black job?
Inflation's hurting everybody. It's not killing my family, but inflation's always hurting everybody because since I've been born, I've never had a world without inflation. I don't know that world. Things were cheaper when I was younger. Things are more now. And in between, every year it got higher. That's called inflation. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't go anywhere. It's kind of like inflation, immigration. Those are things that politicians can stand on and they can argue all the time. And whoever's in office is going to catch the brunt of it because it's always there. You know, we kind of know that. So to say it's killing my family, I can't say it's killing my family because I still buy groceries and pay my bills. I'm still living. It ain't 2008 around here when I was really scared. You know what I'm saying? This is just what it is. Now, I'm sorry, I hit Joe Biden right there real quick. I'm sorry.
I've had those moments too.
I got senior moments too. And shit. No, but no. So it's not killing us. Now, get back to these black jobs. If they've been having these black jobs around, why didn't they tell me that there was jobs I could specifically go get and be in? They was gonna hire me because I was black. I've been kissing white people's ass this goddamn long to work and being nice and being cordial and not cussing them out. When the whole fucking time
There were jobs for
they
me.
had black jobs out here that I could have been applied to. Hell, I probably would have been I don't know, real high in the black job bracket or whatever the hell, maybe. You know what I'm saying? That might have been. I wouldn't have had to try to get these damn student loans and go to college. I just went and got me a damn black job. I went to school. I went to college. I went to the military to get a GI Bill. I just went out and got one of these goddamn black jobs. So I'm going to change my LinkedIn.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm going to put down there looking for a black job. Because I think I'm lying. I'm going to do that shit.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Come on. Come on, like, while I'm the principal. Hey, she just saved all that loan money. Went on, got one of these black jobs out here.
Specifically for me.
Yeah.
So to me, the idea that immigrants are taking jobs from African American people is just rooted in ignorance and also racism, guys. Like, This is a real racist comment. So let's just be honest. So when you think of immigrants, and I want to say, and stop me if I'm wrong, they think of lower paying jobs, right? So they're just saying like, so we, black people or African American people, the black job's supposed to be the low end. That's what we're supposed to be for. You know what I mean? I said that to me is rooted in racism and goes back to the part when we were in slavery and what jobs did we have? We didn't have jobs. Well, we had to work, but hard labor jobs, right? We out there in the sun, you know. Black jobs, you know. So let's just keep it real. So if you don't think that's racist, I'm sorry, that's racist, you know. And I'm laughing because I'm enamored by this man getting on TV and saying what he said.
Like
and believed it. Like, and he didn't see nothing wrong with it.
Like it ain't shit.
And he calls us the blacks.
The blacks.
And it's the blacks. He don't say African, the blacks. That's what he says. But he's not racist. Of course he has a lot of black friends. Of course he understands.
What's a whole lot of blacks out there? Different kind of blacks too. Or like Jamaicans, are they the blacks too?
I don't know. There's like different.
African nationals, are they the blacks? Nigerians are the blacks? And just plain old ordinary American niggas. Are we the blacks?
I don't know, you know. So when you think of economic...
Passing up all these black jobs.
Right? They're thinking about economic competition. And again, immigrants, they bring a lot to the table. And they do jobs that most of us as Americans don't want to do. That's real, okay? Mm-hmm. They're not over here taking over your jobs. They're not becoming your lawyers. They're not becoming all of your doctors, which some of them can, right? Mm-hmm. But initially, you're saying they're taking... I'm not afraid that somebody's going to come take my job. Good luck, because you got to go a lot of school. You got to have certifications. You got to test out. I mean, it's insulting. And to me, that's insulting to the African-American population and just minorities in general, because I'm sure he was talking about, you know, Mexican-Americans as well. So the whole thing is insulting. I don't know how anybody gets behind this man.
Let me put it in a perspective for everybody out there. In reality, I think you made a great point, Walanda, when you talked about like who is coming over here. I would say this, for the most part, when you go to the border, the people who are coming across the border to join the United States workforce and, you know, have a better life, they're not doctors and lawyers and engineers from their home countries. Mm-hmm. Those people have a good life in their country, right? Mm-hmm. So they're not the ones coming to the border. To your point, yes, a Hispanic person, a black person from Haiti, whatever, they could do any job that they want to do if they try and they work hard to get there. But the people who are coming are people who, to your point, are looking for something, anything that they can get because they do not have a good life where they're at. They're looking for a better life. So those people who come over, they end up in those lower wage paying jobs because of that, right? They're not IT software developers at the border waiting to get over here. You know what I'm saying?
Those guys can afford plane tickets.
Yeah, so when Trump says you taking black jobs,
they got passports.
He's talking about low jobs because those are the jobs that those people coming over here are getting. Then he's not talking. I don't do those jobs. You don't do those jobs. You don't do those jobs. But, like you said, Walanda, it's a racist statement. And, he does not, and he will never apologize or accept his contributions to those types of racist statements. And that brings me to top moment number 5, which is Trump will accept the results of the election.
Oh, goddamn.
So Trump stated that he will accept the results of the election if it's a fair, legal, and good election. Walanda, if Trump loses, how can he be convinced that the election was fair?
He's a liar. He tried to steal the last. Hello, people. He tried to steal the last. He tried to steal the last one. He didn't want it to be certified. So if he's not the winner, you think he's going to bow out? No, he's not bowing out. But just let me tell you what we do have in place as far as what's a free and fair access. So we have transparency and oversight, guys. We have voter registration laws. We have campaign fairness. We have supposedly integrity, right, of the voting process, except when we're dealing with people like Trump. So we have all these things in place to ensure fair, right, access to the voting process. But he's not. If this man does not win, I think I'm prepared to see January 6th come again. That's what I'm prepared for. I don't think he's going to go away quietly. No.
Yeah, I think we're doomed. Either win or lose. He wins. Project 2025 comes into play, and we already got those wheels in motion right now with this Supreme Court we got set up here. They're already putting some of that in motion. Mm-hmm. If he loses, he's going to go on, or he's going to stir up everybody and say how it was stolen, and he's going to do all of these same thing. He's going to be the same playbook. His hope now is that he's got a couple people in play that also back him up and make some things sound legitimate. Keyword, sound legitimate. He's already encamped and put people in key battleground states into positions to where they can influence the vote. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have that last time. So yeah, the fix is in when it comes to that. So Walanda's right. It's almost like, well, if the dude don't win, then it may be worse than if he does win. You know what I'm saying? But we know for a fact what he wrote down if he does win, which we know is going to be bad. So so he's not, no, he doesn't care about no free and fair election. He don't want a free and fair election. He wants elections going to elect him. Think about it. How that's like I said, a lot of things when I think about what Trump says is just intelligence insulting. I don't believe in the election, but if you elect me, I won.
Yes.
Like how you believe in something? You either don't believe in it, or you do believe in it. Like, hey, if it's a free and fair election, unless I win, basically. But if I don't win, it ain't free. It ain't a fair election. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. Oh yeah, if I get off on the case, it was a good case. And everybody was good. But if I get convicted, oh man, they were going against me. You know what I'm saying? All this and that. Like, how much more bullshit does he have to say and do? When we first came out, I was like, how much bullshit does he have to do before people know that he's full of shit? It's like the more he's full of shit, the more people support him.
The reason why no one should believe anything he says is because no one is always right. I fuck up, you fuck up, you fuck up. Everybody messes up. Mm-hmm. He acts like nothing he ever does is wrong. Everything's either against him, or like you said, if I lose, then it was rigged. If I win, yeah, it was great because I won, right? So he feels like he always wins. No one wins all the time. No one's right all the time. No one is impervious to making mistakes. And that is, anyone that looking at him could be, come on, man. Really? Mm-hmm. You always win? You always in the right? You never mess up? Yeah. I mean, I just don't get it.
He's a narcissist, and that's what narcissists do. They don't think they do anything wrong. They're perfect. That is the issue here, So he doesn't think anything is wrong with him. He thinks, I'm impervious to being wrong, and I'm great, and I'm going to help the world and come down here and save all you blacks.
Get all your black jobs back. You know what I was thinking? Like, what was there was a certification to get a black job? What would the certification be? Like, we had to go.
You got to be black.
Like, you had to go take a certification test. Like, do you like chicken and watermelon? Like, what that test look like and shit? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, man.
Hey, do you still listen to R. Kelly music? You know what I'm saying?
Stop it. Wow.
What's the certification for that?